What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Wednesday, January 26th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at this 10-game NBA slate. So at the point guard position, I like LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets playing the Indiana Pacers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing point guards. LaMelo Ball has averaged 43.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. He's projected at 43.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. So even if he scores under his season average, he's getting you 5.4 times value because he's only 8,100 DraftKings salary and he's 500 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 225.5 points scored in this game. LaMelo Ball has scored 40, 33, and 36 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 32, 33, and 26 minutes. So he's been underperforming his season average for the past 3 games. But the reason I like this pick is because LaMelo Ball has scored 52, 61, and 59 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Pacers. So I like LaMelo Ball here versus the Indiana Pacers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. So I like Jalen Suggs from the Orlando Magic playing the LA Clippers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing shooting guards. Jalen Suggs has averaged 25.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. Now, he's projected at 26.5 fantasy points here tonight, but if you take a look at his last 3 games, he's playing well over his season average in terms of minutes. So in turn, he's scoring over his season average for fantasy points. So I think he can score 30 fantasy points or more in this one, get you 5 times value or more. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary, 900 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 210.5 points scored in this game. And Jalen Suggs has scored 37, 46, and 36 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 34, and 33 minutes. So I like Jalen Suggs here versus the LA Clippers. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. Okay, now this pick, you got to keep an eye on the injury news because he's currently questionable, dealing with a back issue. It's uncertain if he's going to take the court, but if he is good to go and there's not going to be any limitations on this player, I like DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Sacramento Kings, who have the 2nd worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. DeAndre Hunter has averaged 21.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. I think he could score 28 fantasy points or more in this one, get you 5 times value or more. He's 5,500 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 233 points scored in this game, so it's a good game to stack. And DeAndre Hunter has scored 32, 33, and 32 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 35, and 33 minutes. So I like DeAndre Hunter here versus the Sacramento Kings.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat playing the New York Knicks, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing power forwards. Jimmy Butler has averaged 42.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. He's projected at 41.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's just about 5 times value. He's 8,500 DraftKings salary, 200 more on FanDuel. And Jimmy Butler has scored 60 and 39 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 38 and 36 minutes. He's got a pretty good track record here versus the Knicks. He scored 44, 56, 45, and 50 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the Knicks. So I like Jimmy Butler here versus the New York Knicks. Okay, moving on to the center position. You got a couple of studs on the slate here. Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You got Nikolai Vucevic. So you got some good centers on the slate here tonight. But if you do want to save some salary at the center position, take a look at Steven Adams from the Memphis Grizzlies playing the San Antonio Spurs, who have the 8th worst defense overall. They give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing centers. Steven Adams has averaged 25.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 12% usage rate. He's projected at 26.1 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.8 times value. He's only 4,500 DraftKings salary, 1,000 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored in this game, and Steven Adams has scored 24, 23, and 24 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 34, and 26 minutes. So I like that he's played over 30 minutes for the last 2 games, and I'm hoping that's the case here tonight. I think he's a good value play, so I like Steven Adams here versus the San Antonio Spurs. Oh, and just real quick, Steven Adams scored 38, 23, 19, 26, and 42 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Spurs. So he would have hit value 4 out of those 5 games, and he would have crushed value 2 out of those 5 games. So I like Steven Adams here versus the San Antonio Spurs.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.